Welcome back to Hollow Knight. I'm Dear Darling, and shall we continue our little night's adventure? Well, it's going to continue the usual stuff. I'm cold as heck because it is in the negatives right now here in England. And still kind of snowing, I'll be honest. About 10 minutes ago there was like the heaviest snow flurry I've seen for quite a while. Right now there's none. I keep randomly clicking on my mouse, which I don't mean to. So we're just going to go about our usual business, try and make it to Pantheon Hollow Nest, try and, of course, beat Absolute Radiance when we have a chance to fight her. Hopefully we can. If we can't, then I don't know. I've been thinking about what to do, and we're coming up to episode 100 or so. So what I might end up doing is I might just end up starting the next series instead of Hollow Knight, and then carry on these attempts in the background, and then when I finally beat Absolute Radiance and this Pantheon Hollow Nest, I'll upload it as like the 100th episode or something. But we don't need to worry about that quite yet, because I believe we got a few more episodes to go until that's really the case. But if that happens, don't worry. Hollow Knight is... I'm not going to leave a Pantheon Hollow Nest undefeated. It's just going to... I feel like these episodes are probably getting a bit boring now. Hour-long slogs of me doing exactly the same thing, you know? Like, I feel like it's been a bit that way for a while, to be honest, in Hollow Knight, but I do really like the game. Don't take this as me being like, oh, this game's bad. This game's fantastic. It's just, not all of it is super watchable, I suppose. But maybe you have a different discourse on that, I don't know. Tell me what you think of it if you're still one of the few people still watching this. Ooh! I suppose it's entertaining to watch me somehow take hits on Gruz Mother every single time. I honestly don't know how I managed to mess up such an easy boss every time, and also I think it's bugging out. How am I so bad at this? Oh well. We're just gonna keep going. Yeah, it's kind of snowy right now in England. I believe it's like sub-zero temperatures. Maybe not everywhere in England, but across a lot of England this entire week, which is cold. I mean, of course, weather is always relative compared to what you used to. If you're someone who grows up in, like, I don't know, the Northern Territories in Canada or something, you might be like, oh, that's nothing. If you live in the Sahara Desert, you might be like, that's inhuman. And I suppose you'd both be correct to certain degrees, but it's in different aspects. But you know, it's all relative. I take a viewpoint and I'd be like, oh, if someone says it's cold, you shouldn't be like, ooh. No, it's not. You should see what it's like where I'm from or whatever. It's just kind of, you know, everyone's got relative experiences or whatever. And pain isn't a competition, I suppose, in that aspect. Not to get all philosophical with this, as I'm akin to do with a lot of random things for no apparent reason. But, yeah, you know. Empathy, I suppose, is the long and short of it. Long and short of a lot of things I say. So yeah, everyone's got different experiences in life. Shouldn't try and put each other down for it, or that sort of thing. Not that people really are. I'd imagine in most aspects people are just sort of... like, obviously, I suppose I'm sort of guilty of doing what I say not to do, or jumping to conclusions, or assuming the worst. People are obviously just doing it for, like, conversation filler. They're not doing it being like, oh, check me out. Well, I like to think that they're not. So some people I'm sure are. There's always exceptions to the rules, but the majority of people are doing it as conversation filler, being like, ooh, not meaning it as, like, if you ask them straight up, he's like, oh, do you mean to be so what's the word? Antagonistical. That's not a word. Antagonizing. There we go. We're not gonna be like, no, we're just like, you know, shooting the S, as they might say, as conversation filler, which is like, you know, fair enough. But words have effects and meanings, you know. You can't disregard them, even with just intention alone. As much as I like to try to do things in broad strokes. Excuse me, Hornet. Very rude of you. Oh gosh. I'm also doing... Yeah, I don't know. I thought I had something else I wanted to follow up that with, but I didn't. But I will say, I'm not practicing as much in Hollow Knight now, because now I think me fighting Radiance is about a 1 in 3 chance, which is like fine. It's like it's not going to get much better than 1 in 3. Well, it might, but it's not worth the effort anymore to continuously practice fighting it. So I'm not doing as much warm-ups. My warm-up now for this video, I was just going to be like, okay, I'll just fight the Radiance until I beat her. And I beat her first try, and I was like, alright, good enough. Because I find, since these videos are already basically an hour straight of me playing Horror Night, warming up for half an hour, practicing Radiance, super fatigued me out. So by the time I actually got to the final 3 fights in the Pantheon, I was just like, dead. I was like, ugh, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be the reason why. That sort of thing. Which made me sort of play really sloppy. So I fought against Radiance, I fought against Grim. I actually died to Grim, amusingly, but it's because I forgot to change my charms. But I couldn't be bothered. And I fought against Pure Vessel. They all went fine. Pure Vessel took a bit too much damage on compared to usual, but alright, good job. That's fine, we'll just sort of see how things go, I guess. We never know how things pan out until it actually pans. Which is not really how that expression goes, but it should be. So yeah, no, cold weather. I don't know what's the coldest weather I've been in. Like, I've been to Canada. I'm trying to remember where, I think Toronto. We had like family friends there and we visited them over one of the holidays or something when I was much younger, and I suppose I'd never seen snow like that before. That's also like the first time we've defeated Dung Defender in that phase, but like it was like I don't think it was even winter when we went, or maybe it was. My memory of it is very hazy, but there was like a couple feet of snow and I was like, whoa. Me being like a 5-year-old child or whatever, I was like, check this out. Look how much snow there is. You have to like wade through it and it's freezing. Supremely freezing. In all senses of the word. Scientific definition as well, or even, I suppose, below freezing. But you know, there's that interesting thing, which how humidity in the air really determines a lot about how cold the weather actually feels relative to the actual temperature. Because minus 10 degrees in like one country can feel very different to minus 10 degrees in another country. Because I'm talking in Celsius, by the way. I don't. I know if you want to convert that to Fahrenheit, you can just use that equation, which I don't know off the top of my head. What's it like? Times 5/8 plus 32? Is that right? Every time I check, I just remember that minus 40 is like the point where Fahrenheit and Celsius are equal. So let's see. It's probably like I know it's definitely like plus 32 to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit, because 0 degrees Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit. So it's probably like divide by oh no, it's divide by 5 times by 9? That sounds about right. Yeah, divide by 5 times by 9 plus 32. That's how you get from, I don't know why I did that, Celsius to Fahrenheit. Divide by 5 times by 9 plus 32. Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway, it's because of the humidity we have, because really humid air, I believe, makes cold weather feel even colder than dry air. Something about like the specific heat capacity of cold air is like is it higher or lower? It's been a while since I thought about specific heat capacity, so I can't really remember. That's not how you dodge that. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I better not die on YouTube, of all people. Excuse me, let me out, please. Ooh, okay. Let's maybe not be bad, huh? Okay, surprisingly close. It's fine, this is my warm-up now. The first half an hour of this Pantheon. Yeah, I remember, specific heat capacity is like energy required to raise a cubic centimeter of whatever material by like 1 degree Kelvin or something, right? Like that, I think. I can't quite recall. Obviously I haven't studied it for ages, but it's something along those lines. Oh gosh, that's not how you fight Zero. That was a good dodge. That was not a good dodge. Why did you do that over there, huh? Oh gosh. Very hard to get these hits in. Yeah, it's something like that. Anyway, it's like cold air has a... must be a high one because it requires more energy, right? To raise it the temperature a certain degree, right? And that'll make it feel colder to you? So that's why Britain feels surprisingly cold, despite it, the temperature's not going as low or something, is because there's a lot of like moisture in the air or something. At least that's what I think is the case. I might be wrong about that. Don't quote me on it. Fact check it for yourself before you go parading that. Sorry about that, a little bit of pause. Immediately lost my soul heart. Sorry, soul mask even. It's about pause, but you know. But the prices you pay for the luxury of being able to pause life. I was gonna say. I don't know. Was that deep? That didn't really sound very deep. Anyway, what was I talking about? Like specific heat capacity or something? What a weird conversation topic. Just like those weird like science things you do in school. Is that what we're doing now? We're becoming an educational channel. I'm going to teach you about the things I remember from science. From my school lessons, except for badly because, you know, I'm not a teacher. I'd like to be a teacher, maybe. Maybe. I say it with a grain of salt. I feel like this is... hold on. Is my volume, like, really loud? It is a little bit louder than usual. I was going to say, it's like... why can I not dodge this person anymore? I feel like I'm not on my game, but we'll see. I don't know. What do I remember from science? Electron valence shells? A-level chemistry? Let me think I can remember this. Okay. There's like a load of different shells, quote, of electrons. Well, which are like levels which the electrons reside in. Like, I don't know, valence shells or whatever. The first one is the S shell, which is like spherical shape or something. And it's where the first 2 electrons go in. So like hydrogen's 1 electron or helium's 2 electrons, and it can only fit a max of 2 electrons in. And then the next one is, what's after that one? D? D shells maybe? Which is where the next 8 electrons fit in. So that would be, what, lithium to... neon? I can't remember. That sounds about right. It's probably neon. No. Why have you done this to me? How am I so bad at fighting oblobbles? How am I so terrible? Oh my god, okay. Let's actually just like... I don't know if I can heal up here safely because I'm trapped in a corner. Okay, we'll take it. I think it's the D shells is the next 8. And then it gets more difficult. There's another 8. Which go in here. Which go next. Is it F? No, I feel like F is the 4th one. What's the next electron valence shells? Have you even called electron valence shells? I might just make it up. Die already. Oh wait, hold on. It's Sisters of Battles after this, isn't it? Okay. Should have healed. But it's fine. Sorry, Mantis Lords. But not Sisters of Battles until we proc them to come down. Maybe it's P. No, wait. Yeah, P's definitely at one point because I remember the P's combining together or something. And they're like hourglass shaped. The S one's a spherical shape. The D... no, I think it goes P then D maybe. Hold on. SPDF? Is either SPDF or SDPF. But I remember the P ones are ones like they're hourglass shape and they can like come together to make covalent bonds? Maybe? Something like that? As you can tell, my memory's a bit hazy in this part of A-level chemistry, which I've never used again since doing the exams. Unsurprisingly, not a chemist. Yeah, but something like that. And then it's like, okay, whatever it is 8 of them going to P, and then the next 8 going to D, and then it's like, oh, instead of having another shell or something, they put 18 of them into D or P. I can't remember which one. Whichever the third one is, and those are the transition metals. And then they start filling up another shell again. Oh no, because you can have like multiple P's and multiple D's, right? Something like that. Ugh. One of you must be nearly dead, surely. Ugh. That's not how you do it. It's whatever. We got a hot spring after this, right? I think. You got me. Yeah, something about, wait, hold on, goes, I think it's D and P, the more I think about it. Because there's like a notation, a way of writing them down, where you got like 1s to show there's 1 electron in the S shell, and 2s, and then the D ones I can't remember. I guess it could be like 2s, 1D, all the way up to 8D, and then you get the P ones. I think, maybe? Why does this sound wrong? So I remember only going up to F when we studied it, but I feel like the F ones are meant to be, you know, those 2 rows at the bottom of a periodic table is when they start filling up those F shells. Or maybe the F ones are more transition metals? Honestly, it's super hazy in my mind. But I guess that's why, that is kind of why the periodic table is arranged as such, based on properties of similar groups, namely due to the electrons they have in their outer shells or something. So that's why, like, what are they called? Halogens? Halogens? No, noble gases. Halogens are something else now I think about it. No, halogens are group 7. Noble gases, that's why they're so unreactive, is because they got a full outer shell, and that means it's much more like, what the heck? Yeah, it's very, what the heck? No, it's much more energy efficient for them to... I don't know how we did not get hit more than once. Like, elements are reactive or something because... I'm sorry if you're an actual chemist and you actually know what I'm talking about. And just listening to me bumble through my very hazy knowledge of A-level chemistry again. Oh my god. Please, Gideon. What was that bounce? Anyway, something like... Yeah, elements are reactive so they can fill up their outer shell, because that's most stable for whatever reason I can't remember. That's why noble gases are not reactive, is because their outer shells are already completely full up. So we have no need for business such as reactions to other things. But it's not just necessarily to fill up the outer shell, it's to reach a state of balance, which a lot of the time is a full outer shell, but it's not necessarily just through gaining electrons, it can be through losing electrons. Like all of the elements on group 1 to 3 come to lose their electrons. And they're more reactive the smaller they are? No. The bigger they are, they go more reactive down the table, because the further away electrons have a weaker pull to the nucleus, right? So they're less tightly held on, basically, in the atom. But then the inverse is true from elements in group 5 to 7. They become more reactive as you go up the table, because it's closer to the nucleus, so the pull is stronger, or something. So them pulling in an electron is stronger strength. Something like that. Which is why fluorine is so reactive. And then I can't remember what the last one in group 1 is anymore. Did I just dream now? I swear I heard the dream now noise. Run away, run away, run away. How does group 1 go? It goes lithium, sodium. I can't remember. Anyway, then group 4 is just sort of like, they can do either. or something like that, right? We can either gain electrons or lose electrons or something, but we probably have a preference or something. And that's why fluorine is super reactive. It's because it's only got like... It's got 2 electrons in its inner shell, and it's got 7 on its outer shell. So it's 1 off 8, and it's the closest to the nucleus with least electron shielding. That's the term I remember. Which would repel other electrons. Something like that. So it's got the strongest pull of accepting a new electron. I think. Oh god. I hope my chemistry teacher never sees this and corrects me. That'd be horrifying. Anyway, what's the point of what I was saying? I don't think it was the point. I'm just trying to fill up conversational fodder, I suppose. And this is for some reason what came to mind. Oh gosh, nearly hit me back correct, I'm not gonna lie. And I also remember, because of the electron shielding, it's also why noble gases become even less reactive with higher up you go. So neon is like... I don't think neon's... Is neon the least reactive? No, helium. Well, one of helium or neon is like the least reactive. Maybe it's helium. Is there a pit stop after this? Ooh. I don't actually remember. You must be nearly dead. Oh gosh. Don't know how he dodged that there, but must be kind of close to after this. Yeah, whichever's least reactive out of helium and neon. I feel like I thought it was helium, but it's actually neon or something, because for some reason things go a bit strange when they're very small noble gases. In small shells, like you would have thought hydrogen would be the most reactive element, but it's not for some reason, which I can't recall. But it is. I mean, it's not like it's not reactive. But it just ends up being fluorine is the most reactive element, or something. And like the only way, because you get like taught, like, I think it's a general rule for like any sort of academic subject. You get taught the basic versions, of course, when you're younger, which often have inaccuracies. Or, I mean, I don't know how it is in other languages, not other languages, in other subjects in school, but that's generally the truth for maths and science. You get sort of the broad stroke picture when you're younger, and you get the actual truth, I suppose, when you're older. You get taught like things like, oh, noble gases can't react or something. But then it's like, oh, you find out later, technically, noble gases can kind of react. But you need very specific like situations and compounds or whatever for them to actually... And I remember one of them was like, the only thing they ever got to sort of react to it was some like tetrafluoride. Somewhere four fluorines in, or something, to react to neon or something. I can't remember, make a compound. And I think that's like the only neon compound. Otherwise, noble gases pretty happy just being by themselves, you know? Just vibing. They don't need anyone else in their lives, and you know what? We respect that. We respect individual elements. What am I doing? How did I dodge that? Ooh. Wow, we actually somehow preserved one mask all the way through here. It doesn't even matter any mask we preserve, because we're going to lose them all on mark-off anyway. So the only masks which matter are the ones just before pure vessel. IMO. What are we on now? We're halfway through now? I can't remember what this... Oh, watch night, of course. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Lesson of reactivity in chemistry. Oh, there goes that one mask. Stop. I don't know, what other chemistry things can I remember? I know, but there's one lesson we had like smart metals, memory metals, or whatever they're called, I can't remember. Ironically enough, I knew them what they were at the time, but I don't know them now anymore. Oh, it took too long to spin. Ooh, why am I so bad at watch night? Gosh. I remember our teacher just like brought out some metals and was like, fold them into funny shapes or whatever, and we just folded them into funny shapes, you know, follow teacher's instructions. And then it was like, get a beaker of hot water and pop them in. And we did such, and we popped back to being like just a metal rod or whatever, and we were like, what? And I remember him coming around just talking to the people in the class, and I was like, sir, is this like that like memory metal thing or whatever? And he was like, wow, you know that? And I was like, I think I seen a video of him once. I mean, I can't remember what I said after that. The conversation gets a bit fuzzy. I just remember that part, you know, obviously. Remember the part where he compliments you. He's like, oh, wow, that's impressive. And you're like, heh, heh, heh. You don't remember the parts where you couldn't follow up on any of the conversation. Not that you probably expected me to. I mean, he's a chemistry teacher. Probably with a degree in chemistry. From probably some good university. And here I am. I was just a sixth form student at the time. Studying chemistry just for fun. Literally just for fun. I did not need it for any subject. For subjects. Well, obviously I applied to do maths in university. I did not need chemistry, so I just did it for fun anyway, because I was like, you know what? I've got the option to do another subject. Let's do another subject then. And look where it's got me now. Don't spawn me on Umi. How am I so bad at... Don't talk to me. Not that you could, this is very one way right now, but how am I so bad? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, come on. Oh my god, you're not dead. And I'm nearly dead. How? How has this happened? On Umu. How have I nearly died on Umu? This is disappointing. Clearly not on my top game right now. Which, you know, seems to be a recurring theme, I'm not gonna lie. Just get me out of this fight. How am I so bad? How am I going to defeat Absolute Radiance at this rate? When I'm playing like this, I'm too distracted by chemistry or something. Oh my god, it's Nosk. There's like no good healing opportunities in Nosk, is there? And I talk about something which is easy to talk about. Like, I don't know. Animal Crossing. I still want to do that theoretical video where I make an Animal Crossing villager tier list and just put everyone in S tier. It's going to happen at some point, when I can find the time to do it. I think we can heal once, like that. There we go. It's like as soon as he finishes diving, we can heal or something. And actually heals are even better because we got high blood. Provided we don't get hit again in the time period, as long as we get the heal off. It'll eventually regen back up. Bad damage. Now onto this part. I don't know. I really felt like me playing bad there. It just killed my momentum of my conversation now. How am I meant to talk about chemistry now? I remember we did a chemistry Olympiad also. So if you don't know, there's a lot of Olympiads obviously for every single subject. But our school only really ever focused on the maths ones. Which I assume is rather common in a lot of schools, to be honest. Or maybe I'm biased because I was pretty good at maths, so I ended up doing the maths Olympiads a lot, so probably my perspective of it is a bit skewed, while most other students did it like... It was like, oh, took up one maths lesson each year. And me, it was like, ooh, took up the next couple of weeks, or whatever. Anyway, yeah, well, I remember we did a chemistry Olympiad once in sixth form, and I was like, well, there's a chemistry Olympiad? Why have we only ever done that now? I guess you only ever do it when I was here, and I was like, man, that was wholly unprepared for it. Is what I remember. I remember so many other questions. I've just been like, I have no idea, even remotely, what the answer would be to this. And I ended up guessing a lot of things, which, you know, I suppose that's just how things go if you don't know the answer to questions in exams. That was a very dangerous dash through. I don't know why I did that. I think it's actually impossible to hit your map. Well, not impossible to do it without retaliation. Which I guess that was so dangerous. It's not too bad because since we got high blood, we can sort of take one hit of retaliation, sort of no cost, quote quote. Ooh! I did not mean to spin. I accidentally let go of a button. Alright, Godseeker. We're coming for you next. Not actually. I'm almost actually kind of surprised you don't fight Godseeker unless you do after Absolute Radiance, in which case I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that. If there's another fight after Absolute Radiance, then I might just cry. No, obviously I wouldn't cry. I'm saying that for dramatic effect. I'm very untiltable when it comes to these sort of things. I just be like, really? I'd probably call it fair. Like, if there was a fight after Absolute Radiance, I'd be like, no, not happening. I actually need to focus a little bit on Hornet Sentinel. She nearly ended my run a while back. Mostly to me being sloppy, as if every single one of these fights goes. You just get bored and you're like, ugh. We can heal. I'm pretty sure of, gosh, I actually went the wrong way. I think, it's the thing after this, isn't it? Hot Spring. So I don't need to worry too much about being a bit reckless here with my HP and soul. Anything else I remember from chemistry? Not really. It was a cool time.